Hi, welcome back. Day 9 of Hope 2020, the final day of our amazing conference. Our closing ceremonies begin at 8 p.m. Please join us for the last bite of data. And we want to thank all of the attendees, the presenters, and the volunteers. We're all here to support 2600.com. Please check out the store and show your support. Our next session is with Carlos Martinez, who is a member of Hacklag Autonomo, Hackerspace, Rancho Electronico, and Tierra Commune Tech Cooperative. He's here to present experiences in sharing digital security workshops in an autonomous and open hackerspace in Mexico. We've got our questions coming up in Matrix, so please participate. Carlos, let's take it away.
Hi, hola. I'm gonna tell some experiences in sharing digital security workshops in an autonomous and open hackerspace in Mexico. I'm gonna talk about a hackerspace called Rancho Electronico, the things we've done, our challenges, how we're facing COVID, specifically on digital security also. I am Carlos Martinez, but I also use these identities. Is Carlos M2 or Kaku. So, hi, this is me. And part of free software movement since almost 10 years ago in formal projects. I'm part or member of a hack lab, a hackerspace, and a tech cooperative. This is Hack Lab Autónomo, Rancho Electrónico, and Tierra Común. All these projects are Mexico City based. So, Rancho Electrónico. We were looking for a place in 2013, and we have been in 3 different places on the same neighborhood. This neighborhood is called Colonia Obrera. This neighborhood is very central, is very near from the main square. It's Zócalo. It's a little bit dangerous, but it's cheaper than fancy hoods, and we can pay this. So, and it's very well communicated. There are subway stations near and bus station near, and easy to get on bike also, so we like there. All the members of the hackerspace, we live in different places on the city, but not only the city, mainly the people in the hackerspace. We are from Mexico City, but there are people from Colombia, from other cities in the country like Chiapas and Colima, that are helping the project, helping this hackerspace. And as an example, I do 1 hour and a half on bike from my home to the hackerspace, and another hour and a half to return to my place. So that's the way we move here in the city. We call Monster City, Ciudad Monstruo, this strange city. So the first one was a cellar, and we shared this place with 2 other collectives, and because this was a new project, we didn't know how much time we will hold this project, so we start in collaboration with 2 other groups, and we couldn't afford to pay this space alone. And this was this cellar. You can see here with a lot of people in an event. You can see here on a workshop. This is a small room, and as you can see, the maximum capacity are only 5 people. But there, in this small place, we can do workshops, we can do events, we can do simultaneous event. Also, on this bigger space, of course, we have parties the parties and celebration and dance is important for us. The second one was a bigger space. This second space, we were alone. We were not with another collective. We have more independence and we can decide on this space. In this space we have 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a small laboratory, and you can see here a workshop happening or event. And this place has a roof, and there were projects with plants, there were parties, there were space to be more comfortable. And in this space we also have this small room that we used as a laboratory, and in this small room we can have 2 simultaneous activities on this hackerspace. You can see here another picture of people doing things, and there we have kitchen, and because we have kitchen we can have more fun, we have more parties, we have fun, vegan workshops, and of course parties, not only for fun, also for the economic situation. In these parties we can raise some money for the project. And the third one, the current one, is used to be a show fabric, and it's well illuminated, and we have, you can see here in an event, another event. I have to mention something. Almost everything in the space have been donated, and we don't have it. We don't have much money to buy things. We just use the money to pay the rent and the electricity and internet. So as you can see, this table, you can see these chairs, you can see some paper, you can see some bench, and this microwave oven. All of these have been donated by someone, and someone of the community, someone of the hackerspace. I can see this space a mutual aid example. In this hackerspace we also have another room where we can have a simultaneous activities, and we share also this space with the Tierra Común cooperative. You can see another event happening there, presentation. Okay, the organization, I think is this central thing of our project. I think this is more political than technical. I have to say that I'm not the voice of Rancho Electrónico. I'm not a representative of Rancho Electrónico. I am part of Rancho Electrónico since the beginning, since a lot of time ago. But I'm just someone talking about Rancho Electrónico. I will explain. Because we don't have a CEO, we don't have a boss, we don't have a manager. All of our direction we do through assemblies, and we try to be independent, horizontal, and plural. We are a self-managed community, and all our assemblies are open to public. I mean, if you want to know how we organize, you can arrive every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and you can see, you can see how we decide what to do, what not to do, how we organize our events, how we arrange our things. I mean, it's an open process, and we try to be horizontal. We try to do things in this way. And this part is important because being autonomous, we don't have a fund, and we don't have direct donation from a government or institution or a financier. And so we don't follow a market logic or a thematic axis or a financier. We are deciding what to do. When we have time, we decide to share on a topic. We decide to invest time on a project. I mean, we do all on this assembly process. And here's in Spanish, you can read this: free technology for collective work. I put this image because all our processes we try to do on free software. Some events and our assemblies we are doing on mobile. We use Etherpads. We don't use Google Docs. We don't use Zoom. We don't use Google Meet or something like this. We try to use free software, and we try to use all the software on autonomous servers or servers from friends. And we have things hosted in an autonomous server and also on May 1st cooperative. And we are also members of May 1st. And now on COVID times, we use Jitsi and Big Blue Button. What we do? We do a lot of things. We do not only on free software and free culture. We do debates, we do yoga, we do meetings, we do some ceramic workshops, vegan food, dance, plant care, cooperativism, a lot of different things. It's important to say that we are all of the members of the project. We are not just on TI or engineers. There are sociologists, there are biologists, there are artists, there are ceramists, architects. There are people, different people that they have different approaches to what to share, to what to learn, to what to create. So the main axis is activism, digital security, and free software, but we do other things on other lines. I'm gonna show you an example of a schedule and a monthly schedule. You can see here a digital defense working group, the digital library, capoeira, drone lab, and things on electronics, things on maps, on SIG, a study group of sysadmin, these things on music, these things on dance, these things on web design, and some graphic design, and vegan food. I'm showing you some examples of the flyers of things that are happening on the Hackerspace. I really like the diversity on our space. You can see this vegan stuff, this cooperative meeting, this dance class. It's like food not bombs, but GNU not bombs, install fest, maintenance for computers against electronic obsolescence, And there have been events for kids. There are events for social movements. And many events happen because in different times. I mean, we have 7 years doing things, and you can showing you 4 different flyers of sysadmin group, because sometimes we have an idea to have a working group on sysadmin, and it works for a month, it works for 2 months, and then everybody's tired or everybody is busy, and so a year later again we try to do a working group on sysadmin, and that's why there are different flyers and different dates on this topic. There's a big project or a big working group on digital culture, on free culture, and they have a do-it-yourself book scanner, and they have events related on these topics. There are also biologists or people that like the plants, and they have these workshops, these events. Of course, graphic design, of course, artistic stuff. You can see here some GIMP, Inkscape, Krita, Blender, Audacity, all the things on free software that are related to audiovisual. And things on electronics, this is a lab for a Raspberry Pi, and some book presentations related to free software. This is an event called Latin American Festival on free software installation, and this is a big event. It happens in Latin America, and every year we are part of this festival, and this is a big event. Always, every year is a big event. A lot of people came to the Hackerspace, and we try to share workshops and to help people install free software. This is a big event. You can see this webpage, and we are also related to some distribution. I can say most of us, we are Debian users, so we have done a lot of things related to Debian, like the Debian Day, the release party, and also distribution arc of Fedora have done things with us. But there are also big events where we can share workshops and talks. How we finance ourselves, this is important. As I say, we are autonomous. We don't have a fund or aid of an institution. So the way we do is, we say cooperación colaborativa, or collaborative cooperation. All the activities, all the workshops are free entrance. There is nothing like a membership or paid membership. All the activities are open to everybody, and so that's the way we manage. We have a piggy bank, or some tins, or some places to put money. And so on the events, we pass this piggy bank, say, okay, maybe you have money, maybe you can collaborate with money. So put there some if you want. And if you don't have, or you don't want to give, okay, so it's an open space, it's a free space. If you have money, you can also give us some coffee, or give us some paper for the bathroom, or give us some cookies, or give us some material for the workshops. And you can give us also work. I mean, you can give, in exchange of the workshops, you can give us flyers, help us with the flyers, we can help us cleaning the space, we can help us with organizing a thing. And I'm proud to say that we also, the members of the Hackerspace, we also clean the space, we also clean the bathroom, we also do all the things, we also paint the space, we all do everything. I mean, we don't pay anybody to do other stuff. Other way to collaborate is on knowledge. This have been great because someone go to space to learn on how to program on Python, and then these people know how to use well Audacity, and then they exchange this. They first learn, and then he share or she share this topic. Another way to collaborate is also on donation. As mentioned before, there mostly all of our furniture, all of our equipment has been donated, and this is the main way to pay for the space, to pay the rent, to pay the electricity, to pay the internet connection is on with these piggy banks. And I think we belong to the community. Many of us, we are related from some social movements, we are related from other collectives. So I think this that we are our community. Yeah, that's we are. Now we have this Vaca Rancho Electrónico is our donation platform. I invite you to visit and donate to us, please, if you want, if you can. And I'm gonna talk about digital security. That's the main thing I collaborate on this Hackerspace. They have been 7 years doing this. And we like to say autodefensa digital, autocuidado colectivo. I mean, digital self-defense or collective self-care. We like to say in these words, and there are some topics that we cover on these workshops. Open workshops for activists, journalists, or people in general that arrive to the place, and of course with free software, and that's we try to do. And some tools and some topics like VPN, some tools like Tor, like Tails, like KeePass, KeePassX, like Key9, like Tails. I mean, all Signal, all the software that maybe you know that is related to free software and digital security. And this browsing in a safer way or in a more private way. Some things related to Tor, of course, and digital defense or digital security on mobile phones. You will see different flyers with different dates. Also, have been 7 years, so sometimes you can imagine on February some people have time to share these workshops, and then again a year later or again a month later, we or I have time to share something. or I learn something new, or I do some tests on some new things and I want to share this, or I made some slides or new things so that I want to share, and then I by myself I do these flyers and I try to to share, and people arrive and we do things together. And these are some flyers on this topic, and you can see here on GPG also many different flyers and also many different also approaches, because sometimes it's beginner level, sometimes it's more like a lab, sometimes we cover more topics. You will see here like RCA, Mood, Thunderbird, Enigmail, GPG. Some examples of flyers. This Peña Nieto and Trump. On Tails, I collaborate a little with Tails with some things, so I like also to share on Tails, share workshops with Tails. You can see one here. Of course, in Tails, I try to cover Tor, OnShare, Math, some intermediate level or advanced level using Tails. In something that I like also, that are not only workshops, I put this example because I collaborate on translation to Spanish on Tails. This workshop was how to collaborate to translate to Spanish, how to collaborate to this on this. And this other flyer is on testing. This was in this event we bring beta Tails, and we try to do the test and report to Tails. It was not just share a workshop, it was a way to help the project, a way to help Tails on something. So there are different approaches to digital security, and this because it's an open space. I work, as I said, on a cooperative, and we do digital security for NGOs and journalists, but it's different because there are people that they have to take these courses, and in these open hackerspace, the people just came. They don't need. It's not. They don't came by the work. They just came. They are interested in whatever topic we are sharing. And the activity depends on, there are different activities, are talk, workshop, or laboratory, and it depends on the public. If we are just colleagues, or if we are just a people that have been seeing each other a long time on different workshops, or we are more intermediate users, and then can be a laboratory. So in this laboratory we can test a tool or a software, and we can do some tests, we can do some documentation, we can do some in another level, not a beginner level. It depends also on the amount of people. If there is few people, we can use this small workshop and this small space, and we can do different workshops. It depends also on the emotional state. Why I say that? Because people knows that this is an open space on digital security. So sometimes arrive people looking for help. Sometimes we can help, sometimes maybe no. And so when I write people, sometimes I ask for someone so he can be with him or her to try to help. Or maybe when the workshops is over, I can go with these people and try to help in digital security. Also depends on gender, of course. If it's a woman, I try to ask for help for another woman, so maybe they can feel more confidence. And I have to say also in digital security, not only in digital security, but that we have received a lot of local and international solidarity on events, on exchange of knowledge, on many things. And I have to mention some of these collectives in Mexico or in Latin America that have done things with us, that have helped our project. And also it's important to say that some international projects like EFF, Mayfair's project, Tails, Bitmask, some people like Renata Avila, some other projects like Creative Commons, Wikimedia, they have done things with us, and when they do things with us, there are a lot of people and if there are a lot of people, they can also leave some cooperation to the project, and if there's a lot of people, things can happen. I mean, relations, alliances, I mean, together we can do things. And I put this flyer and this other flyer because I have received also help from people from Tor Project or Guardian Project or events with EFF people, Bill at the Hackerspace, Eva, Katitsa, Seth, Kurt, many people of some projects have been in our Hackerspace sharing with our community. And Bitmask, this project from Argentina, some other local groups, Mayfirst. Mayfirst have done some big events in our Hackerspace. Some other projects in our space, Tor, some projects with Tor. Some of us have done also some documentation or slides of the workshops have been done in Rancho Electrónico, and some of these are hosted in this GitLab instance. And there are also other approaches to security, not only digital, also on legal or also on physical security. That's are the flyers of, and other things related to digital security. And of course the Feminist Perspective. I'm not the only one who do things on digital security. There are also many friends. There also have been other friends that are not anymore in the space, and there are also other friends that are doing these activities on feminism and on digital security, and I'm showing you some examples of these other activities of friends. Sometimes we do things together, sometimes someone have more time and can do another thing. Of course, crypto parties. Crypto Valley was an event on digital security and was an open event. You can read in English about this on this webpage. There were a lot of workshops and a rally on digital security. This was what funded by what we want, and was a great way to learn and share things with our community. Okay, before COVID and after COVID. Before COVID, we used to have a space. We used to do things together. You used to use the space that we're paying, and now we are using Jitsi, Big Blue Button, and another friend is using PeerTube. So that's the new way we moved to these platforms. So that's how we are continuing this project. So I have to talk about this frame on this economic and social reality, related to COVID and related to us in Mexico. I have to say that 56% of the people is in informality. So right now they are facing big troubles. A lot of people here in Mexico. And related to this new online reality, it's important to say that less than a half of Mexicans have a computer in home, so it's a big disadvantage. And many projects are disappearing, especially the alternative ones. And I understand that people in Mexico can't help our space. I think and I believe there are more important priorities right now on health, on economics, on political, and maybe our project is not so important right now, and we are surviving on this COVID thing, COVID reality. Some good things. There are more people on these online workshops. We used to do most of our activity was on the physical space, and now there are more people on the workshops. I think that's my perception. I think there are more people concerned about online safety. So there are more people on the workshops. People can participate almost anonymously. I have to say all the instance that we are using, they don't have Google Analytics. We try to use things on autonomous servers, and we don't use Google Forms or Zoom or things like this. Another good thing, we don't have to travel locked instance to share or attend to a workshop or activity. Bad things. A few people have good internet connection or a decent computer. And many of us, we are tired of online meetings, and there are a lot of meetings or events happening at the same time. Other bad things, the increase of global mass surveillance in less human warmth, less hugs, less contact. I see as a bad thing. For me. Now that I'm talking about conduct, I have to say on these digital security workshops, sometimes you need confidence, sometimes you need trust, sometimes you need to see face-to-face people, and maybe you can inspire some confidence, and maybe people can say, I have this problem, and hopefully you can help someone. And with this distance, sometimes I think it's more difficult to help. We have to pay also. That's the bad thing. we still have to pay the rent, the internet, electricity. For our landlord, we are just someone who pay. They don't care if it's a political project or if it's an important project. They this landlord just see us as someone if pay or not pay. So maybe this is our last months of the hackerspace. Finally, the COVID is kicking us, and I take these words that I recently listened of a friend called Fumiko, and I like these words. And this space, not also physical, also virtual, can be a space can be a place to communicate, can be a place to create. And if we communicate, maybe we can organize. And if we organize, maybe we can seek for a better world. If we organize, we maybe can create better worlds. So thanks for your time, attention. Thanks, Hope. Thanks, people behind this. Thanks for your time. These are some people have been in this hackerspace. And this is our webpage, the webpage for donation, the Twitter account, Diaspora account, and here 2 pesos, my Twitter account and my Mastodon account. So thanks, and I hope you have questions. I would like to answer your doubts on this. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, we're back with you here at Hope 2020. Buenos venudos, and thank you, Carlos.
Hola. Hi.
Hola. That was an excellent discussion about your experiences presenting those digital workshops in those makerspaces. Thank you for helping all of those makerspaces. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Hope, for inviting me, for let me talk with you.
Awesome. We're glad to have you here. We're going to get right into some questions here. And our first one was, are there any particular security concerns that hackers in Mexico have because of the political and cartels situation?
That's a good question. And it depends on the things you're doing, and it depends on also on the region. I mean, there are many regions in Mexico. There are far more violent, far more dangerous. And Mexico City is not right now. Is not so bad. I mean, we can feel better. I mean, we can feel a little bit safer. In fact, we don't have relation with some hacker spaces or hack labs on the north or in dangerous locations, because it's really hard to have communication with them. It's dangerous. So
sure.
I can say that at least in Mexico City, right now we don't have these concerns, these security concerns.
Right. Thank you very much for that answer. Let's go on to the next question. If you were to have people donate money to help your hackerspace keep operating, how would they send that money to you?
There is a web page. It's called vaca.ranchoelectronico.org, and it's linked also in our main website. As I mentioned on the talk, we used to receive the money and directly, but now that we are not allowed to go to the space, it's really hard to get money. And I also think that it's hard for our colleagues in the city or in the country, because our colleagues are also with these autonomous or alternative projects, and they are also on a bad situation. So there is a PayPal account,
Link. Yep.
and but also there is the contact in the site. You can search for us, and we can answer. Oh, maybe we can find another way. Like,
All right. All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Our next question is, what's next on your plan?
well, right now we don't have many plans because we are almost closing the space given this crisis, COVID crisis. We used to be a place to work together, not only for us, also for our friends. And we our um, uh, short-term plans are to survive this year. I mean, to keep the physical space, because we can, this group of people, we can keep doing workshops, we can online, we can still do what we used to do. But I think we really like our space, and hopefully when this COVID thing happened, when this COVID thing ends, maybe we can go back and and do these things.
Sure. I was wondering, are the schools open in Mexico now?
What again, please?
The schools, have the schools reopened in Mexico,
No.
or is everybody off for the summer?
No, they won't open this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
No, that's what they say.
I see.
Maybe some universities in some way, but the majority, no. There will be no classes this year.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much on behalf of all the Hope 2020 attendees, the presenters, and all the volunteers. We thank you very much, Carlos, for sharing your presentation with us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank everybody that's doing things around the world. We are doing the same, no? In different ways.
Thank you very much for being here. At the top of the hour, our next talk, but before that, I'm going to take a grateful moment, because our next talk is actually Disgusting Secrets with Real Hardware with Zach Friedman. But if you have a beverage, especially of the adult kind, please help me toast 2 VIPs and the team here at Hope. This is my last sign off. I'm humbled and grateful that I had the opportunity to spend the last 9 days with all of you, the volunteers, the presenters, and especially all the attendees. A big shout out to Emmanuel, whose strength and tenacity has been an inspiration to all of us. To me, his work inspired me to join lawsuits to outlaw electronic voting and to force the government to respond to citizen petitions. A shout out to Greg, who's been in the catbird seat every day, all day long. He's another amazing person that was a key orchestrator of the show. Thank you, and thanks to your wife too.
Thanks,
please raise your glass. And here's to Emmanuel Goldstein and Greg Newby and the entire cast of volunteers. All right, we'll see you with the next double X Next Hope. I don't know what the name is yet, but let's make it double XL sized together. Stay fresh, stay safe. Peace out. Great love to all of you, and thank you. At the top of the hour, our next talk, Disgusting Secrets of Real Hardware with Zach Friedman. Fresh bumps and fresh tracks coming up right now. Ground control one last time. Take it away.